Welcome to the July edition of the Freight Loop by Drewry. My name is Daniela Gimp. I'm a benchmarking and shipping markets consultant within Drewry's supply chain advisory team. In this month's edition, we will assess what impact growing trade tensions between the US and China are having on container shipping markets, and also how shippers and carriers are responding to this. Back in May of this year, President Biden announced a series of new tariffs on various Chinese imports with total value of approximately $18 billion annually, the most stringent being on Chinese electric vehicles with a new 100% tariff, which will take effect from the 1st of August. These targeted new higher tariffs were on top of those imposed by the former US President Donald Trump in 2018 on a much broader range of goods. Ongoing geopolitical tensions are, of course, a growing concern for shippers, but against the backdrop of worsening port congestion and rising freight costs. So the need to mitigate the risks and rising costs will no doubt be front of mind for sourcing and ocean freight procurement teams. Now, if you go back to 2018, when the new tariffs were announced by the former US president, there was something of a cargo rush to be the higher duties. And anticipating all these new tariffs announced by the President Joe Biden, many US importers will have been expecting this development again, and they decided to bring forward shipments ahead of time, which eventually also skewed shipping seasonality. Another side effect of tariffs has been that cargo flows are adjusted to sidestep the tariffs by redirecting them through other Asian countries like Vietnam or via Mexico. So point A is China and point B is US, but there are other wayport calls along the way to sidestep tariffs. In this chart, it is clearly seen that cargo owners have been shipping more volumes from Asia to Mexico. The rising trend has been especially more evident since March 2023, as it surged 29% month on month. And if you look at Mexico's share of the whole Asia to North America trade, we can see that the trend is similar. To meet high demand, carriers are already adjusting and exploring growth opportunities. In recent weeks, there have been announced 7 new Asia to Mexico container services, and collectively, all these services will add over 30,000 TEU of weekly capacity. But there should be also a rate premium incentive for carriers to add more services, which is also the case because in June 2024, spot rates on Shanghai to Manzanillo route were $1,200 higher for a 30-foot container than on Shanghai to Los Angeles. On top of the 7 mentioned Asia to Mexico new services, the wider Trans-Pacific market will have another 6 new loops added. Other carriers starting Trans-Pacific loops include sister carriers COSCO and OCL with 2 new loops. MSC is another carrier adding a loop branded as Mustang, a revival of an old loop connecting Long Beach with China. And another carrier is Sea Elite, which is actually returning to the trade with the AW service. And One High is coming with a restored AA1 loop, and Zim is with the Central China Express service. Well, the good news is that all these new services increase market capacity, providing shippers and BCOs with more options for their cargoes, which may also help curb the upward trend in freight rates. But in our view, it is highly likely that we are heading for another round of tariffs, given the track record and commitment both US presidential candidates have shown to the policy. And to manage increasingly complex cross-border transactions, small and medium-sized shippers will need additional support, which actually is presenting an opportunity for freight transportation providers to expand their business with value-added services. To learn more about Container Forecaster, our flagship container market outlook research service featured in this update, please visit our website or speak to a member of our ocean freight cost benchmarking and procurement team by emailing us at supplychains@drewry.co.uk. Thank you for listening, and we hope you will join us for the next edition of the Freight Loop in August.